Hey everyone, I'm Phil Cohen, Managing Director of the Beehive Cooperative here at MIT, and today I'm here with Mark, part of Linked Sports Data. Mark, how are you today?
Very good. How are you, Phil?
Good, doing very well, thank you. Well, we're here to talk a little bit about you, find out about you and your venture. So let's start off with you. Tell us about your background and how you're affiliated with MIT.
Sure. I grew up in Montreal. I studied electrical engineering up at McGill University there. Did a bachelor's in '02, then a master's in '05. Spent about 5 years after that working at Microsoft in Seattle on enterprise software, and then decided I wanted to focus more on the business side of things, so I came to MIT for the Sloan Business School. And so I just finished that now. I graduated about a week ago, and I'm here to work at the Beehive for the summer to work on my project, which is Linked Sports Data.
That's great. Well, congrats on graduating from Sloan.
Thanks a lot.
Pretty
Yeah,
big deal.
very exciting.
Great stuff. So let's talk a little bit about Linked Sports Data and your venture. So can you give us an understanding of exactly what that is?
Sure. This is a project that started about 6 months ago, a couple semesters ago, basically, at a class at MIT. We're using linked data technologies to do sports analytics in a better way, and specifically hockey data. Most of the companies that focus on sports analytics do baseball and football and some basketball as well, because they're the biggest sports in the US. But hockey is a bit of an underserved market, so we're focusing on that. And we're doing it in a way that you can go a lot more in depth and also be a lot more interactive and visual with the data.
Got it. Very cool product. So I'm wondering, as we were talking about earlier, do you do anything with hockey fighting?
Not yet, but it's something that we can definitely add on. So basically, like if you think about it, if you go to NHL.com or Yahoo Sports, you kind of only see the high-level data. You can see the total number of goals scored, penalty minutes, time on ice, that kind of stuff. But if you want to dig deeper and see where do some of these goals come from, are the assists more from the defenseman or the right wing or the left wing? Does he score more often against a left-handed goaltender or a right-handed goaltender? Do they do better in the first period or the third period? All those kind of questions are difficult to answer without spending a lot of manual time, basically going through all the match logs and building up that story yourself. So that's the kind of data that we're providing in a more in-depth fashion, and also more interactive. So if you think, for example, of buying a flight ticket from kayak.com, you have sliders where you can filter by price range, you can uncheck airports you don't want to go to, and so on. But for hockey data, that's not really available. So basically all you get is static tables of numbers. But the way we're working on it is to make it interactive the same way as Kayak is interactive for flight tickets or any kind of website for hotel information and so on. So you can in real time you can play with the data and see what happens and kind of dig deeper and also visualize through charting as opposed to just numbers what's out there. And so to get back to your question about fighting, that's one data set that we can add on. What we're doing now is focusing on the actual stats, but also combining that with physical characteristics, so players' height, weight, age, so on, and also other data sets such as contract information, so how much a player is making. So you can come up with stats based on, for example, performance divided by dollars, so performance per dollar, for example, as opposed to just performance. And then there's trade information, there's injury information. All those are different data sets, and when you combine them together, you get a lot more in-depth and exciting stories to tell. And so fighting is just another data set that we can add on top of that and build even more deeper relationships.
I like it a lot. So is this a tool primarily for coaches, a tool for players, or a tool for fans, or maybe even a tool for everyone?
Basically, it's all of the above, plus it could be applied to more things as well. So if you think of fantasy leagues, which is pretty big in the US, a lot of people who play fantasy leagues kind of professionally, semi-professionally, want access to better data. So that's one other market. The betting industry also is pretty big on data. Obviously, if you're a real kind of investor type bettor as opposed to just a casual bettor, you want to use data to make better decisions. Broadcasters use sports data to talk about the history of the game and when the last time something happened was. So yeah, you have fantasy leagues, the betting industry, broadcasters, you have journalists, and then as you said, you have fans, players, teams, and so on. So all those are different potential markets to explore, but for now we're focusing on professional teams, NHL teams basically. And within those you have different markets as well. You have general managers who use data for drafting and trading. You have coaches who use data for real-time decision making about who to play against which line and so on. And then you have players and their agents who use data for contract negotiation purposes, so when they want to compare how much they should be earning. as opposed to somebody else who's making a similar or higher or lower salary.
Wow.
So there's
Great
many
stuff.
different markets, but we're focusing now on teams as the first one.
Wow, good stuff. Okay, so we're in MIT's newest and largest summer accelerator program, Beehive Cooperative, and I've got to ask to finish up what some of your goals are for the summer here at Beehive Cooperative, Mark.
There's a few goals actually. So with the Beehive specifically, I'm very excited about working with very smart people and very fun people to be around, including you, Phil. And so it's going to be a lot of good times with the speakers and making these videos and these kind of things that are very exciting for me starting a company. Specifically for Link Sports Data, I'm hoping to continue to develop the prototype so I can have something to show off in the next couple of months, even the next couple of weeks actually. And most importantly is to meet with potential customers, so the GMs and coaches and so on of hockey teams. I have a few leads right now through some contacts at MIT and through a law firm I'm working with, so hoping to get that rolling as well over the summer.
That's great, Mark.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Mark. We really appreciate it. Link Sports Data, everyone, check it out. And Mark, once again, thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right.